Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Pete from Kongs R Us, and welcome to Sunday. I'm used to saying welcome to the next level, but it's not my typical show. I'm just putting together a quick live stream to demo putting together this completed Star Wars arcade. And so I've been modding Star Wars arcades for the last year now, officially, and I need to finish up this client's Star Wars machine that he just dropped off at my house so that I can get it out of my arcade. Because if you didn't see, I had posted in a couple of places, but I got my Legends pinball machine and I'm super excited to put it together, but I have zero space. And I have a special guest behind me. You guys want to say hello? You want to say hello to the fans, the flans?
Hello, Plan.
Yes, you have your Sunday drink with you?
Always.
Yes, and so maybe she'll assist me. Do you anybody want to see Mrs. Kongzeros assist me in modding? Yeah, we wanna get in there and screw some screws or use a drill or
You gotta
any
push it in hard.
and anything you want to see, we'll do it for the channel. But anyways, these are the tools we're gonna use. I'm gonna switch over just really quickly so you can see. Thanks. These are the essentially the panel that I'm putting together. So if you are doing your own mod for Star Wars, I have a couple of videos about doing a mod yourself. I have mod kits available. I have limited full service commissions. So if you're really interested in modding your Star Wars arcade, my channel has pretty much been dedicated to that. So definitely check out my original tutorials on how to do it. I do plan to make some updated 2021 versions of my tutorial so that you guys can follow along what I'm doing currently. But this is a sample version of a modded control panel. So I did a recent video about how to install it and wire everything up. So this is a completed, what I call a premium panel that has all these buttons installed. It has a little joystick at the top here for a throttle that you can use for battle pot. It lights up. I have custom buttons. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing the installation into the cab itself. So this is kind of the final step. If you get this or if you're completing this and you want to follow along, I do have a shorter version of this actual tutorial in my channel already. So this is just a live demo because I have to do it anyways. Thought I'd turn on the camera and say hello to some folks. What's up, Chris, Richard? The innuendo, yes. JQ Paul, thanks for joining in. So yeah, just follow along if you want to, if you like this format. If you have any questions, we're just kind of chilling on a Sunday. Ask me any questions that you got going on, but I'm going to start modding this and start putting in everything that you need to get this going so you guys can see what I do to finish up installation. This is a brand new Star Wars cab. I just put together and assembled, so this came straight out of the box. It has never even been turned on yet, and so this will be modded. We're going to take out the PCB, put it to the side, and this will never be turned on in an official Star Wars arcade true format. It will only be a modded cab. So we're going to start with the actual LCD to HDMI converter to just show you what I do to put that together. So this is the Gen 3 BOE monitors here. This is the display adapter that you're going to need. It comes in the kit, and you can get these from Amazon. It's the resolution for these are the 1280 by 960 boards, so make sure you're getting a Gen 3 version of these boards if you're doing this on your own. So essentially we're going to pull this out. There's some other installation things that I do have in this bag that if you do get a commission from me that you'll see. And so for this installation of the LCD converter, there's a little baggie here that I include that has these little PCB feet. So these PCB feet are really good to put into the LCD display adapter, and that way you can just mount it to the back. And then there's some screws in here that we'll hold on to for the power installation. But there's lots of ways you can skin a cat, if that's the phrase. But for me, I like to mount these using the PCB feet on the actual LCD board. When we pull this off in a second, you'll see that the monitor is already grounded to the metal plate. So this is my personal experience that I feel like you can leave the ground into the monitor. And I probably should look up the actual real scientific reason for that, but I don't actually ground the monitor into this, and it still works just fine. So if anybody's technical and is smarter than me and knows whether the correct way is to actually ground it into the board or leave it in the monitor, let me know. I'd love to continue learning with everybody, but for me, I use all 4 PCB feet in here, and then I'm going to mount this to the top side up here. The most important thing is that the board should not ever touch the metal plates because that could short it. So that is a good side and a bad side, because if your stickiness fails, then it could actually touch the board. So use whatever is most comfortable for you if you want to mount it behind using a piece of cardboard from your actual box. There's lots of ways to do it. Okay, so we're going to remove this. going on, Ritual Dello? Thanks for joining the stream. Okay, for folks that are following along, we're going to remove this cable, get to my screwdriver here, remove the sides of the stock PCB. Very simple. Hopefully this will only take about 45 minutes or so. And you can just see a sample of what I do when I'm modding these. Again, there's many ways to do this. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing. These are all kind of very similar to basic modding principles of changing this out, putting in a Pi or a PC into the back of your cab, installing some power options, and then you're good to go. Playlist is good to go. Yoke is the best mod out there. Alright, so this is the stock PCB. Flipping it around. The only things that you need to remove, I'm going to add some extra light in here so you guys can see. Let's turn this on. It's going to be really bright for me, but at least you can see this. Okay, so this is the PCB. So we're going to remove the cable, the 30-pin cable here. And it's interesting enough if you can't see it, but the red pin on this cable is actually on this side of the pin instead of on the left side. So normally the red pin is all the way on this side for most PCBs. But that's interesting that it's on the right side. I haven't paid much attention to that. So here's your Star Wars PCB. We're not going to be using this, so we're going to set it to the side. Good to have spares. Okay. What's going on? Facebook users. For folks that are joining on the Facebook group, the Kongs R Us StarCade crew group, I have a link in the YouTube description. If you don't allow StreamYard to let me see your profile, I don't see exactly who you are. It just says Facebook user. So, but you can still ask questions. I can see your chat. So thanks for posting in there. Okay, so going to remove the PCB feet that I have on the back on my LCD board. Okay. And then I like to mount this on the top side because for me, I want to be able to put this. I like to mount this piece of the actual controller on top, and so this allows me to actually drill a small hole and put a little place on the top to get this through. So first thing I'm going to do is going to reattach this cable just to make sure that I have enough space for it. So to do that, I'm going to mount it here and make sure that it goes up this way just so that I have enough space. So here's the power cable on the left side. Let's make sure it reaches there. And then this is the cable for this one. The red wire here needs to go on the left side of your LCD display adapter. There's a little arrow right here, so it should go on the left side of the pins. Make sure you line up all your pins nice and accordingly. The 30-pin adapter, press it in straight. Should be nice and snug and secure. I'm actually going to remove this for right now because I'm going to reattach this by putting a hole into the top. And now we're going to mount this just on the top side right here. Not stretching too far because we don't want the ground cable or this thing to pull it. So we're just going to mount it right there in the center perfectly. All right. Here's the board. Nice and secure. All four pieces are mounted. We're good to go. Okay. So that's the mount board. Next couple of things that are inside a baggie that we'll be using a little bit later. So sound. So connecting your sound, there's lots of options. This is the stock speaker, the 3.5 millimeter speaker cable from your stock speakers that you originally, I was saying you could plug these into this jack, but it's not powered if you just do a straight plug into this. So there's 4 pins on this board here that if you use this adapter, which has a 4-pin connection, and then it actually has a female adapter for your jack. I guess in terms of a quick tutorial, you can buy one of these fan KC 3.5 millimeter adapters, as well as a 4-pin JST PH connection, and then splice the 4 wires that come out of here. It's a red, black, green, and white cable, and then this is going to power the speakers and add extra power to it. If you don't do this, it's you can't power the stock speakers. They're super faint. So this is a very easy plug and play connection where you just plug that in. As simple as pie. And then for the Marquee power right here, one of the things that I also include that I've had tutorials on before is making a custom Y splitter. So this is a custom Y splitter that goes to 3 different ends here. So two of the ones are male. These are the stock male connections. And I make this custom female adapter here, which is a smaller 3.5 millimeter hole, which fits the size of the stock Marquee. So the stock Marquee is not your typical 12 volt, and it's a male adapter. So this is going to fit directly into this. And then one of these other Y splitters is going to power the LCD display adapter. So we're going to plug that there. This last one that's hanging out, we're going to plug this in at the very end, but this is what's going to use to light the LEDs on the actual panel itself. So we got the plug for the Marquee setup, we got the adapter plug into here, we got our power. All these cables are loose right now, but afterwards, if I'm doing an install for a cabinet, I highly recommend for all my builds that I use, zip ties, and zip ties. Do not be afraid to use these zip tie holders and zip ties to clean this up. So I probably will just do another quick roundup installation, and then I will grab the zip ties and start zip tying everything down. So we just did the LCD monitor converter. Now we're going to be going into the power installation and then dropping our PC in. So pretty quickly, I know I've already been going for 15 minutes or so. Again, if you don't want to watch this whole video, go check out the shortened version. Simple as pie. That's true. Kuma Rev says I'm the MacGyver of A1Up. Thanks, man. Watching live surgery. I know live modding is interesting because you never know if you're going to be making mistakes live, and I hope it works, right? All I can say is that, you know, modding is fun. I enjoy the process as much as I enjoy the actual gaming itself, but that's a fun thing to do. I am building this for somebody local, so somebody dropped off this cap for me and commissioned me to do it, and so that's what I did. And Chris, do I have a video to make the power Y splitter? I think if you check my Outrun mod video, I might have made a quick portion in there that talks about that Y splitter. So there's barrel adapters that you can use. That's probably the easiest thing to do. But afterwards, I can leave some links in this video that tells you which of these like little female adapters to buy. But it's if you know how to splice wires, then you can cut this and then attach some crimping tools and then throw it in here too. So you can check that out. Or I think I'll have a link in, if I have a very old video that talks about how to make it too, that I probably can link. I think it's called the LCD power or sound something. It's one of my first in-depth tutorials that I did. All right, so let's get to installing the power for the cab. So one of the cool things that I've been doing with my cabs is, you know, normally to power up your PC and all your power supply, you're going to need an actual stock surge protector inside of your cab. But to power that inside of your cab, I created, you know, something that's called an inlet module switch. So I have a full tutorial on how to create this. This is called an inlet module switch here, and it's wired, and I actually wired it to this, you know, just a regular adapter that you can plug in the surge protector into the PC. Let me move this down since we're talking about power now. So this is going to plug into this adapter inside of the cabinet itself. And what I did was I spliced and left these two cables open, and then we're going to wire it into these two wires that are on the control panel, which is actually plugged into this on and off switch. So this on and off switch is going to power on the surge protector inside, and everything is set to power on once you flip on the switch. So let's get to installing this into the back of your control panel. Not the control panel, this little board here. So this is the back of your board. So as you can see, there's just a little hole here. That's the stock hole. What we're going to do is we're going to simply make this bigger and cut out a space for the inlet module switch to go inside. And it's, again, this is super simple. You could do a more formal version of like tracing and cutting to make sure it actually fits. And maybe I'll do that just so you can have an idea of what we're trying to aim for. So let me grab a marker really fast. So I'm grabbing a marker, and you know, a simple thing you can do is normally I just start carving out pieces of this using a pair of pliers, but you can just grab a Sharpie and you can kind of just measure the size of this hole here, or this kind of square shape. It's about 1 inch by 2 inches here, and so you could either take it apart or you can see it. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and then we're going to friction fit it in. So this is going to be my non-surgical. Somebody was saying I was a MacGyver. This is just me getting somewhat of a marker so that when I put this in later on, everything's going to be covered by the actual full-on protector, so you won't see any of this marker at all. All right, so now that we marked off our little square that we have, simple tools, you can cut it however you want to. I'm just using a simple pair of pliers, just like this. What's up, Derek? Ritual Dello, LCD board, did I use double-sided stick tape? I use PCB feet, adhesive PCB feet that stick into the holes, and then so I have 4 of those, and they have adhesive PCB feet. All right, so now I'm just taking this section, and again, literally just clawing it at it, and just taking chunks out to make it into a square. And so, like I said, you can do this more precisely with any of the tools that you want to. You can use, so what is it, a Dremel, right? Dremels work really well for this as well. And since the hole's already made for you, and you have one, I mean, most everybody should have a pair of pliers in their house. Otherwise, you know, you can use other tools and just kind of cut it out slowly. You might be able to use some scissors or something, or a razor, just to kind of like slice it and cut it. This is just what I use, again, so I'm just picking out the pieces and talking as I go, checking out if there's any other comments. Yes. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I'm really excited because I got an early shipment. I was able to get an early shipment of the Sam's Club version of the Legends pinball machine. So I have it downstairs, and I didn't tell Mrs. Kongzarus it was coming, and we were having lunch, and all of a sudden this big box shows up in the front of the house, and the whole family's outside, and they're like, "What's that box?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And they're like, "You can't really hide a giant old pinball box." Had to grab a big old dolly to wheel it back to the house. But it's gonna be fun. I have to set it up, and the reason why I'm doing this stream is because I need to get this Star Wars out of my arcade so I can make space for that extra pinball bit, because I'm totally out of space. I have 0 more space in here, so I have to consolidate, have to make some sacrifices to move some things around. I'm one of those collectors that has a hard time selling my stuff, so I don't know if I'm going to sell any of my cabs, but we'll see. I think I might have to at some point, because I'm getting pretty maxed out on space. I might be rearranging some furniture, so we'll see. All right, so that's my little square hole. This is going to have the adapter plug in there, and now I'm just going to flip this around. I like it this way with the thing on top. Just friction fit and see if this fits. Did I get it? Do I need to make it a little bit bigger? That's good. Bottom side might need to be a little bit bigger. That side's good a little bit. How about that side? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Try to make it as snug as possible so that it'll stay and you don't have to do anything else for it. Alright, so I'm just moving it in, shoving it in, clearing out some more space. I feel like it's about to go in right now. There it is. Boom! Just like that. It's a little slightly crooked. I probably could have made it straighter. That's okay, you can't really tell. It's in the back. Nobody's going to tell. Alright, so that is the inlet module switch. On the back side, you can see it might be slightly off-center, but that's okay. It's a little bit about love when you're modding. Not super precise, but it still looks okay, pretty clean. And again, if you are putting it in, you just want to make sure all your wires are connected. I have a full tutorial on how to set up an inlet module switch. So this exposed wire, if anything comes loose, you want to make sure it's super secure before you tie everything back up. Okay, cool. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have 2 screws that are left over from modding the yoke. They're just kind of the extra screws that would go into holding on the cover. And I'm going to put the 2 screws into the inlet module switch here so that they stay secure, nice and down. So I'm going to just leave this on the floor for a second, just so you have this here. Going to grab my screwdriver, and where is my drill? Did I move my drill somewhere? Ah, there it is. I'm going to reach around. Sorry guys, hold on 1 second. Going to move this to the side. You're going to get a big close-up of my rear. All right. drill is way over here. Okay, we're back. There's that. Okay. So I have my drill. I have a small drill bit that I'm going to just draw two small holes just to make it easier. Simple holes using a small drill bit. I'll move this back up here. I just drilled two small pilot holes using a drill just so I can have it there. Alright. And now I'm going to take these screws and screw them in. I probably could have made this more aligned. I probably should have taken more time to do this, but you know, maybe I'll ask if he minds. If not, I'm okay giving a slight crooked discount, but it's just power switch. It shouldn't matter too much unless this really, really bothers you. But here's an installed inlet module switch on the back, and then this is going to plug into any old power on the back side. Okay, so that is your inlet module switch that's installed into the back of your panel. Very simple. Have all this other trash here, so just make sure you have a nearby trash can so that you can get that going. Okay, so on the back side here, I'm also going to, this is also one of the things that I'll do afterwards too. Normally for this is the connector to the converter that would go into the board. So I like to have this on the outside of the cab exposed. So afterwards what I'll do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to drill a hole right here and put this through and then double tape this here, and then this way it'll go in and connect to this thing here. So I'm going to grab a drill to do that a little bit later. So I'm just going to put this off to the side right now. Maybe I should do that now. Otherwise the mess will be inside when I have my PC installed. Okay, let's do it now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab a step bit. So I like to use step bits for when I do this portion of it because I don't need it to be super precise. And so I'm going to grab a step bit. I'm going to switch out my bit. And then I'm going to drill a hole on the top of the Arcade1Up to go through for the, again, this is the controller for the LCD display adapter so that you can control the off and on switch, getting the inputs and that such. So let's make this tall. Okay. That's not tall enough. Let's get creative here. I'm going to move this and try to balance this on my laptop. This is probably a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Balance. Yeah. Alright, so this is the worst idea ever. Alright, so this is just the top of the cab right here, and again I'm going to drill just kind of right in this area right here to cover up this little section right in the middle, and then we're going to make it about, I'd say about 20 millimeters, just so that it fits the width of this 6, I don't know, it's like a 10-pin cable right here, to make sure that it fits through, and that should be long enough when we have it here to reach to the top part of the actual display adapter right there. Okay, so I'm going to just move this so you can see me as I drill. You weren't kidding when you said your room is packed. I know, you can see the rest of the arcade, and this Star Wars is sitting in the middle of my arcade, so I have no space to move it. I have no space for my pinball. This is why I need to do this now. Alright, so I'm going to grab a spare box really fast. Hold on. Alright, so I just have an extra spare box that I'm just going to hold underneath here so that it catches the extra pieces. Otherwise, you'll just be vacuuming up the little pieces on there. So I'm just going to hold this back here. So this is just going to catch my bit. Have my step bit. I'm going to measure it down the center, kind of eyeball right here. Center of the cab is it's kind of off center from where the sticker is. So you kind of just depends if you want it more centered towards the sticker or if you want it more centered towards the actual cab itself. So we're going to stick this here. Start drilling through. Alright, maybe a little bit more. Alright, attaching all the little bits. And I remember, and I have carpet on the floor too. I remember one of my very first modding videos that I shared in the Facebook groups. I was drilling through a panel using a step bit on my carpet, and I remember I got torn to shreds for people saying, "Why are you drilling MDF inside of your house on carpet?" And I was like, "I have a vacuum, it cleans up." But I've since moved most of my drilling into my garage, but you can see the leftoverness from your step bit if you're doing this here. So you definitely want to be mindful of where you're modding. I'm modding in my arcade, but you know, hopefully you can find other places to mod cleanly. Clean! Like a mother, like Bobby Vu. Like Bobby Vu does. Okay. Okay, so this is the top side, and this is going to fit nicely through here. Perfect. And so I'm just going to mount this pretty much right here, just so that we have access to it, and this bottom side is going to go under. So okay, I'm going to, I have some double-sided tape right over here. Double-sided tape is always a good thing to have anytime you're modding, right? So double-sided tape. I'm just going to grab a double-sided tape. What's up, Polo? You love all my t-shirts, man. This is Tokidoki X-Men. I was representing because the Fighters Evo folks, my guys from Fighters Evo, were hosting an X-Men vs. Street Fighter tournament today on the Marvel vs. Capcom X-Men vs. Street Fighter Arcade1Up tab, and it was off the hook. I had so much fun playing in a tournament. I'm having fun playing in a pinball tournament too, Hollywood and UAG, so that's super fun. I'm really having fun with the online competitive play. I'm really looking forward to the online play with the Marvel or the games Legends pinball too. All right, so I just have sticky sided tape that's going onto the back side of this, and I'm just going to mount it literally right there in the center. It's not covering up the any of the information for the serial number, so you'll have all that information there. So that's nice and clean, just on the top like that. So that way you can just get access to this. So very simple. You could also hide this inside of your cab too. It's not necessary to have it on the outside, but you know, if you ever wanted to, I know, leave your PC on but turn your monitor off, like if you actually download anything on this PC and you just need it to work for something, then that's another reason why you might want it set up that way. All right, cool. Let's check out if there's any other questions. Yeah, B, you're almost top 10 in the tournament. That's true, I am. Just got into the pinball Jurassic Park tournament, so it's been fun competing. All right, we got some bits in here that we need to blow out. I might get my back in a little bit later. So this is the bottom side of that display adapter that we're going to plug into the bottom side right here. All right, we're already half an hour in. Don't worry, we're already almost done. We are already almost done. And we can demo kind of it all being set up. Okay, so that's the back side. There's that. We did our inlet module switch. Let's pull out stuff from the inside of the cab. So these are the 4 screws for the panel. So we're going to eventually screw in those 4 panels there. This is just the extension cable that we're not going to be using for the 12-volt adapter. And then we have the actual stock Arcade1Up adapter. Should have been, oh yeah, it's right here. So we're gonna power everything up inside using the stock Arcade1Up adapter into this Y splitter over here too. But let's get some double-sided tape and then tape down our actual surge protector too, so it stays in one place. The PC that I'm going to be putting in here is a larger PC. So there's several different form factor PCs out there. This is a 70 or a 9010 actually. So this is an Optiplex 9010, and it's a bigger PC, but it still fits. So we're just going to double check and make sure it fits. It's going to stick in, slide in right there. Has enough space for everything. Once you put your PC in here, and I normally recommend taking off this whole cover. Because the cover itself, I mean, you're going to have an enclosed cabinet, right? So this will just help with your ventilation to have the cover off. And if possible, You know, on the back of your panel, if you really want to make sure that the ventilation and performance is working well, you can actually install extra PC fans in here to either blow air in and then suck air out too. So that way you have more ventilation. So that's most recommended. There is some small vent holes on the bottom of this panel already, but once you install it, I recommend taking off the cover so that you at least have some more ventilation in here. So we're going to stick the PC here. I just wanted to see how much clearance space I had so I can put in my surge protector, and I'm going to just use some double-sided tape and then strip this and just tie it down to the bottom right there. All right, B, is that your favorite form factor PC? I do. I love the Dell Optiplex 7010s for some reason. Like, they just happen to be the ones that I've used the most, that I've had the most access to. But the base specs of them, they run i5 3470, so 3rd gen i5s, 8 gigabytes of RAM, pretty simple, runs most things, and they're super cheap. Like, I get them for like, you know, at budget retail places, pretty much bare bones with just the PC, no RAM or anything, maybe like 60-70 bucks, and then able to, you know, do the installations and get everything up and running with everything. But graphics cards are the main thing that people are really hurting for right now. So building PCs is simpler, but sourcing parts, especially GPUs, that's the hardest part. All right, so all I'm doing is just grabbing some double-sided tape, putting it onto the back of my surge protector so I can tie this down. All right. Hollywood Polo, man, are you getting paid by UAG, your average gamer, to promote the tournament? Because you're in everybody's stream promoting it, and I love it. There's like 20 people that are in the tournament. You got me to join finally, man. That's awesome of you. I love that you're a part of everybody's streams. But you should get some credit from UAG for promoting the FX3 tournament. It should be co-presented with Hollywood Polo or something. You should host your own tournament, man. The Polo team. All right. So, okay, so I'm going to stick the surge protector in. I'm going to put it all the way to the back, just so that I have more space and clearance. And again, this adapter is going to plug into the inlet module switch that's in the back of our Pono. Okay. Now, into the PC itself. So the other things you're going to need to connect the PC to everything. The PC needs its own power cable and adapter. So the PC should come with a power cable supply, just like a regular power adapter cable. So that's going to be plugged into the back of the PC and then into the surge protector. So that's going to be the first thing you plug into the surge protector. All right. And you could use any surge protector, really. You know, you want to kind of protect your electronic investments, so this is actual surge protector. And the second thing that's going to plug into your surge protector is the stock power cord that comes with your Arcade1Up too. And this is the 12-volt adapter. So there's really only, I think there's only 2 things that are plugged into the surge protector. So your PC and this adapter, and that's it. Okay, so let's plug in this adapter, and then the other end of this 12-volt cable is going to plug into this this female part of that 12-volt adapter that we had earlier. And we're going to tape this down so it's not pulling or tugging on the display adapter. We don't want any weight tugging on this because that would be a bad thing. Bad. Okay. Installing the rest of the components of the PC, you got to connect the PC to your monitor itself. So this is a regular HDMI adapter cable. So simple regular HDMI cable. I think it's 1.5 meters that I use. You don't need a ton of space. You just need to be able to reach the LCD-HDMI port and your graphics card on your PC. So we're going to plug this in. Simple, guys. We're almost done. Done. Specs on this PC build is a Core i5 3470, 3.2 gigahertz of 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's running a GTX 1050 Ti low profile, so it fits inside the business PC. And then it has a 120 gigabyte SSD for running Windows and a 500 gigabyte HD hard drive so that you can run your playlists off of it too. That's all you need for if you want to run a Launchbox playlist, but you can use any specs you want to. I have a full-on budget PC build tutorial. All right, so that's plugged in. The last thing I highly recommend, 2 extra things if you haven't already. Where is it? So since this is going to be into your PC, having an actual wireless mouse and keyboard like one of these guys, which can be like maybe 10 to 15 bucks depending on your preference of which one you want. So this is just a simple keyboard that this one just uses 2 AA batteries. So I'm just going to put in 2 AA batteries in here. There's a little dongle. So this is a dongle that you want to just connect to your PC so that you can have this attached to the outside of your PC. You don't need to open it up and make changes or do anything. So we're just going to add in some power to this and leave this on the outside of your cab, just like that. Okay, so now this is powered. Now we have a keyboard and mouse. And the last thing is you technically don't need to plug in your PC to any Wi-Fi, but if there are a handful of Technoparrot games and some other things that may need to connect to internet. So if you want to be able to download things or just have it connected, this is just a simple Wi-Fi adapter. This is an EDUP Wi-Fi dongle that I use. That's about, I think, 13, 14 bucks. And this is like truly plug and play. You don't need to have any adapters or anything. Once you have this little antenna, you just screw it on and you plug it in. So I'm just going to plug this in ahead of time so I don't have to plug anything else in here. So I have my keyboard and mouse in there. I got my Wi-Fi adapter I'm going to plug into the back as well. Okay. Alright. I believe that is it. You might want to secure down this with either double-sided tape or something else, but since I'm going to be giving this to a client later on and he's going to pick this up, I'm just going to leave this just like this. I'm actually going to move the keyboard Wi-Fi, the keyboard dongle to the back instead of the front, just so I have the front a little bit more clean, because I'm going to put the cover back on. Okay. All right. PC's in, ready to go, almost ready to roll. Okay. So this is going to go back on the front side here. Our surge protector is going to plug into this adapter here. And then there's also these 2 little cables here that are going to plug into the control panel. So we're gonna put the control panel in first, and then we're gonna finish this up on the back side. So let me plug this in. This little wire keeps popping off, so I mean highly make sure that your inlet module protector or surge protector or inlet module switch, all the wires are crimped down so they don't come loose like that. So if it does come loose, just I recommend grabbing your pliers and just squeezing down on the terminal a little bit more so that there's more friction when you put it over the terminal. Alright, so let's put this down. I just want to make sure that this doesn't pop off. It's way more secure now. Get in there. Female spade connector. Alright, that's all good. It's not moving anymore. This is all connected. Okay. So I'm going to flip this around. Hi. What's up?
Not much.
Sunday drinking?
Yes.
Yeah?
Know it.
Know it. Alright. My modding space is a mess now. We're going to... It's a giant mess.
What is that on the floor?
What?
Good lord.
Yeah, that's just extra drill bit. See, look, I didn't get it on the carpet. I put it in a box. She's bad. Alright, we're going to turn our cab around and install the control panel itself. So, I mean, the control panel is just going to go in. All I'm going to do is just going to go to the front side and install the four things. Chris Keith says, everyday drinking. That's right. Alright, we're just going to rotate this around. Responsibly, absolutely. These are my Mount Rushmore of arcade modders. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm just another community member that just happens to love tinkering, and glad that people are learning a little bit of something. So, all right, this is the front side of your yoke or of your panel. Very simple. So on the back side of the panel, there's 3 things that we need to plug in. Oh, I guess I should undo this because there's 3 things that we're going to plug in. There's the USB cable from the actual GeekPi encoder that I use. There's the 2-pronged connectors that's going to go into the inlet module switch, and then this is the last 12-volt adapter that's going to go into that last 12-volt adapter that we had. So we're just going to throw all of these cables inside. We're going to plug it in from the back side so we don't have to worry about it. we're going to very carefully line up our yoke and panel back nicely so it fits nice and snug and beautiful. We're going to grab our 4 screws, screw it down. So when you screw everything down, I do recommend using a screwdriver so that you don't over tighten it, because you sometimes can have a tendency to over tighten it and potentially break the plexi. But we will see if I have the time to do it. So let me see if I can push these in. Make sure they go in. All right. This one's having a little trouble going in, but we'll do the other ones first. Okay. All right. Saying hello, saying what's up. B, does the PC need a specific GPU card, or will the integrated graphics card work? For the playlist that I run, because I want to run Sega Model 3 and Technoparrot games and things that use a little bit more power, I do recommend having a dedicated GPU instead of using the onboard graphics card. If your goal is to just run MAME and classic games, if you're running like the original Star Wars Trilogy, like the Star Wars arcade game, and you wanted to run just more MAME classics, you can get away with just using the integrated graphics card. But if you want to run Star Wars Trilogy on Model 3, or any of the console games or things, or Technoparrot especially, minimum graphics card I recommend is a GT 1030, and beyond that, I'm using a GTX 1050 Ti. My most preferred graphics card, if you can get them, is a GTX 1650. Low profile, because those are the ones that fit inside these business PCs that I use. If you are decasing your PC, because you saw you have a lot of space inside your cab, you can decase it and demount it. You can use a full-size GPU, but again, the bigger the GPU, sometimes it requires additional power, which these business PCs don't have additional power for you to use stuff. All right, panels installed, nice and beautiful, secured. Let's turn it back around, finish the install, flip it on, do a little bit of gameplay. Let me know in chat if there's anything you want to see, particular games that you want to check out. I'll let you know if I have it on my playlist. You can do a quick demo, but hopefully we're almost done. Richie Odello's favorite drink is alcohol. That's very generic and very true. Love it. All right, so we're back on the back side of our panel. You can see it all sticking inside. You love my custom button layout. Thanks, man. You have a GT 1030 in your current gaming rig. Yeah, GT 1030 is minimum for the Technoparrot, at least, I think so. That's the minimum GPU that I recommend. Okay, so USB from the GeekPi, it's going to go into the computer. So I'm going to, again, pull this back, plug it in. I'll do a little bit of wire cleanup afterwards, but I will do a test run to make sure everything's up and running first before I start tying things down in case I need to rewire everything. Okay, so the USB is in. We have our little extra 12-volt adapter from the Y-splitter. We're going to look for the 12-volt cable from the panel. This is going to light up all the buttons. So this is the 12-volt adapter here. It's going to plug into that. Boom, just like that. The very, very last thing to power on the cab, the piece de la resistance. Okay. This is 12-gauge wire. I think maybe 14-gauge wire. That's I've soldered onto the Arcade1Up switch, mounted it very securely down. And this is going to plug into the inlet module switch using kind of just some custom female spade adapters and male adapters. And then when we flip that switch, it's going to power on the entire surge protector inside. The PC is automatically set in the BIOS to turn on when it detects power. So as soon as the whole thing detects power, it's going to boot up. It's going to boot up the LCD. We're going to get rolling in just a second. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's pull this back so you can see it. Here is the inlet module switch here. I'm going to pull these cables right here. So here's the inlet module switch and the 2 adapter cables. And it doesn't matter which one you do. It's essentially all it's doing is bridging the black hot wire connection that would normally be going into this female adapter extension cord and the inlet module switch. So it doesn't matter which one you plug it into. It's just bridging. It's essentially just making a connection for the hot wire. there. And be definitely careful with this. I mean, this is what I recommend, but you are dealing with electricity, so double check, do the research, make sure this is safe for you, and if you want to follow along. All right, it's all plugged in. We are going to close up the panel now, at least temporarily, and then we're going to turn everything on in just a second. Let me grab the stock screws, just a couple of them. All right, let's just do one of these stock screws in here, just so that it stays closed. All right, so I'm just gonna plug in one of these screws, and we'll test it out. We'll get it plugged in. You guys ready? I saw how you can get an adapter for SATA to make an additional power input for a GPU card. You can do that, yeah. If you have an extra power from, if you're just using a SATA power cable, you can use that as a 6-pin. The only thing is that it won't draw the same amount of power as a dedicated power supply though. So that's the only bad thing, is that you may not get the full power of your GPU by doing that, because the actual PSU is still limited. These I think are about 240 watts. Okay. So now I just got to plug in a regular standard power outlet to this, flip it on, and then flip the switch, and we're ready to go. Let me know what the first game you want to see. Star Wars Trilogy, a racing game, Initial D, Mario Kart, Crazy Taxi, PaperBoy. Who wants to play PaperBoy in the Midway Legacy cab when you can play it on a Star Wars Yoke? Right? Think about it. Way better. Way better. All right. Let me get a power cord and plug it in. Here we go. Oh, I just unplugged the PC that I was powered up earlier. Dang it. I was running. Whoops. Okay. All right. Whoop. That was a mistake. Oh well. Okay. All right. So I now have a power cable plugged in. I'll just show you on the back side really quickly. So now that I have this plugged into this back wall right here, let me just make this big so you guys can see it. Okay, so this is the back of the cab. It's plugged in now, so the first thing you want to check is when you flip this switch, this light should turn on. So all the connections inside will make sure that this is powered, but the inside module switch, or the inside surge protector, is not going to be turned on because we haven't flipped the power switch yet on the actual cab. Okay, so let me hop back around. Hop back around. Okay. PaperBoy first, Star Wars Trilogy, and then PaperBoy. Alright, so here we go. So here is the moment of truth to see if everything worked. Okay, let's do it. Let's turn off the light here because it's super bright. Okay, and we're going to flip the power switch on this. You like to see PaperBoy? Yeah, we can do some PaperBoy gameplay. There we go. Let me lift up this camera a little bit more. Okay. Alright. Oh. And flip. Everything turns on. The LEDs turn on. Beautiful. I can hear the PC turning on right now. The monitor just flipped on right now. You can see the lights are nice and tight. There we go. We're booting up. Simple. Crazy Taxi is also a fave. 52 minutes. That wasn't too bad. I thought I was going to take about 45 minutes, but I was talking too much. So this boots up automatically into my playlist. So I have something called StarCade Playlist 2.0. It's a custom launch box, big box build. And it's going to auto boot into big box. And this is for dev. This commission is for dev. It's going to pick it up. But you can see he asked for some Mandalorian stuff here. So it actually says this is the way Mandalorian. And I don't hear any sound, but I think it might be because because I had the volume off, unmuted. So the cool thing is I have this volume switch here. I can map it, and if you can see, I actually have the volume set where I turn the volume up. It actually controls the PC volume. So I have the power, the volume switch working. Here's my classic playlist. All right, so we want to see Star Wars Trilogy. Let's see some Star Wars Trilogy. So I got my Star Wars playlist. Press this right button to go into it. And I'm gonna go into it, but I'm gonna turn down the volume all the way, otherwise YouTube will stop this video. So let's get into Star Wars Trilogy and test it out. For this game, you're mostly using the yoke, and then you press these big red buttons for the event buttons. Yeah, Crazy Tactical. Do you have an image or anything to assist with the launch side of things? I do. If you go to, on the description, I have links to my Facebook group, and you can get information on getting a playlist set up like this for you. So here is Star Wars Trilogy. We're going to just select Yavin, just because it's easy to see something dark on the screen than Hoth or something. But it plays super well, super simple. This is, again, you look at the yoke. The cursor works perfectly, and you're using the triggers. The stock yoke feels really great. I actually love playing this game with the yoke. This is probably my #1 played game on my playlist, and it plays fantastic with the yoke. And it's almost exactly like the original Star Wars game that's on this cab. If you think about it, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a cursor on the screen, and you're just shooting. And this Star Wars Trilogy is an updated version of that. So I think it matches perfectly with this cab. This mod alone was worth it just for this game. But this game runs fairly easily for Model 3. All you need a minimum, again, is just a GT 1030, and this game runs perfectly with that spec. So, but you can do so much more with the yoke, though. It's pretty awesome. So this is Star Wars Trilogy. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. Super fun. Alright, so for an event button, you press these buttons, so they're mapped to the playlist as well. Okay, so to exit the game, I have a dedicated exit button right here on these premium buttons. The other thing you do is I also have a start button. If you don't want to do all these buttons, I have it if you just hold down the start button, it'll actually exit the game as well too. So there's two ways to exit. You can press the button, or you can hold down the start button. Press the back button, you can go to your menu again. Let's go to PaperBoy. PaperBoy. So these are all custom playlists that I've made. I have PaperBoy under a playlist that I call Ride and Roll. So everything has kind of custom splash screen. And we're going to play this. So I kind of wanted to just demo how the yoke works. Sorry, the screen of the actual gameplay is hard to see. But let's get into PaperBoy. Here it is. PaperBoy. Okay. So the first time you play PaperBoy or some of these older games, you also sometimes have to calibrate the yoke while in game. There's sometimes it might just veer to the left or right, but once you play the game and just have it working, it should work. And I launched it, but then it just went dead. What happened? Come on, PaperBoy. Now loading. This is just MAME. Should be no issues. There it is. Okay. PaperBoy. Now I can turn up the value on PaperBoy, I'm pretty sure. Okay, we're going to enter some coins. Okay. Enter some coins. Oh no! Maybe the playlist got mismapped with my button playout and layout. So sometimes when I copy my playlist, the coins might have got swapped for something else. Not entering coins right now. So this is why it's important to have your handy dandy keyboard, right? That keyboard that I had earlier. Now, where did I put the fancy keyboard is the question. There it is. So now I can check my keyboard, and I can just press the tab button on my keyboard and open up the MAME controls. So this game's controls. And most of the time my playlist is pre-mapped to this, but for some reason, I know why, because I used this playlist recently for testing out my whatchamacallit, my analog guns. I just got these AliExpress guns, and I forgot to remap them back to the stock buttons. So that's why it's not working. So that's coin. So that is the reason why. Okay, here we go. We got coins back in here. We're going to press this. We're going to do some PaperBoy. And so I'm going to move my yoke to the left, right, up, and down just to calibrate it in the middle of the game. So it might be like this the first time you play PaperBoy. There's other games that you need to calibrate it, otherwise it might just go crazy. Okay, so now I can press back and it breaks. I hold forward, it goes forward. I can move my wheel to the left or to the right, so it's very sensitive. You can control it, and then you press the trigger button to throw. This is how you want to play PaperBoy, right? Look at this control. It feels so good with the yoke, and I calibrate it so that the analog settings work really well. Before I had it like with terrible calibration issues, but I'm just kind of bad at this game in general. But you have complete control going forward, back, left, right. But this is how you want to play PaperBoy. Sorry, Midway Legacy Cab. I will play PaperBoy on my Star Wars cab all day long. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. Watch out. Boop, boop, boop. Oh no, I didn't know you couldn't go over the grate. Oh, I gotta get the robber. Okay. Route number 2. There's the robber. Let's see if we can hit him. Hit him. Yes, got the robber. Got into that house. Got some more paper routes. Hit those guys. Zap, zap. Zap, zap. Alright, we're made it to the obstacle course. Training course, go. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, I accidentally pressed the exit button. Oh, I was doing so well too. That's the only danger about having the exit button underneath the yoke. You might accidentally press it. I've never done that in game. Maybe once or twice, but yeah, little danger there. But that's PaperBoy. It looks good on the yoke. Yeah, PaperBoy makes so much sense on the yoke. It's absolutely awesome. Never played the arcade version with steering wheel handlebars. Hey, what's up, Bobby Broadway? 3/4 view. The houses really give me a 3D effect. Yeah, cool. So what else? PaperBoy was fired. Such a sweet setup. Oh, remind him to update their GPU. Yeah, Derek, for anybody that... Derek had an issue for the PC that he had where it was blank screening for some things. But I don't know, I couldn't repeat that for other GPUs. So if you have issues where your 1050 Ti might be blank screening, I'm going to try Crazy Taxi right now. It was blank screening for Derek. I sent him a PC. And so he had to update his GPU drivers and then check off some settings in the NVIDIA settings. So if you have to do that, that might be something you need to do too. But let's do some Crazy Taxi and check it out. Crazy Taxi. Alright. Let's do it. Crazy Taxi. Boom, 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 boom. Is this built on a track mode? This is a launch box, big box build. Alright, arcade. I'm gonna turn down the volume because I don't know if off-screen music on YouTube is copyrighted, which it probably is. So let's do this. Alright, so arcade mode, played by arcade. Just turning down the volume just in case. Just in case. Alright, we're gonna pick our guy. Good old Axel. I have this top button here set to drive. This is brake, and then we're going to go. So brake is this left trigger, so you can gas and then brake. Oh, it's doing the black thingy. Oh, Derek, you're right. I have to update the GPU drivers. Dang. All right, I need to do that on all the PCs then. So yeah, this is one of those games where it just blanks out in the middle of the screen. It's because of the GPU. So good call, Derek. And shout out to Jonathan Lonzo, Tech Gains. He's one of the guys that also was helping troubleshoot this issue. So you and Derek, good job finding the solution. But I just saw the blank screen. I didn't have that from some of my other ones, so I don't know how often that happens. But we got it working. So I'm going to update the GPU drivers on this for sure. And do that for all my mods moving forward. Alright, so we got some Crazy Taxi. This plays so well. This is the Dreamcast version. So I'm just running Dreamcast. And it plays great. I mean, this is a 1050 Ti. Oh, it's black screening on me. Oh, this is terrible. Alright, I need to do that fix like right away. Oh, okay. Doing it live on stream. Okay, black screen of death. Alright, I need to update the GPU drivers, Derek. Thanks for the reminder. I'm going to do that right now before I get this finished up. But is there any other gameplay that people are interested in seeing before I close up the stream? It's already been about an hour long. I'm probably going to open it up one more time, tie everything down with zip ties, but this is just a demo of setting it up, getting it installed into a cabinet, working, doing a couple games. Launchbox Big Bucks code. So yeah, exactly. You can set up your own playlist, make your own stuff as whatever you want to. We wanted Uber, not Lyft. Yeah, it's funny. There's some good games on here. Ooh, Monkey Ball. You ever seen Super Monkey Ball using a yoke? So I added this on here because I used to love playing Super Monkey Ball on a GameCube, and playing Super Monkey Ball with the yoke where you have to like kind of just hold it and get it set is super fun. No, Derek, I really appreciate it. Paulo, I just played Crazy Taxi a second ago, but I was having some issues, so I gotta fix the GPU settings on that. But I will get it set up in a second. But I want to demo Super Monkey Ball. If you haven't played this on the playlist with a yoke, it's pretty fun. Not gonna lie. Okay, we're gonna get in here and see how well we can do this. Where we can just get it, carefully. It's like a puzzle game where you're holding on. And let's see how well we can move the little monkey ball. So moving forward, backwards, and you're pretty much just trying to get to the goal using the yoke. It's way more fun. This like the yoke is essentially a giant analog stick. So if you were playing this on a GameCube, you would only be using like the big stick on your GameCube controller. But look how fun that is. You can control the monkey ball with the yoke. This is so much fun. All right, this one's a little bit of a harder stage, but I think this is fun. It's a fun way to play the game. Vroom, monkey ball. Boom. Alright. Glad you joined the stream, answered some questions about the on-off switch and the GPU update. Yeah, no, you are welcome. Oh, okay, you gotta go. I gotta wait for it to go back. Gotta wait for it to go back. Come on, go back. Go back. See, and the yoke is so sensitive. It's so like, look, it's so accurate. This yoke it's like the best controller in the world. It's so much fun. All right, floor 5 bonus. Look at all these bananas. You know me, I'm a Kong. I love me some bananas. How many bananas can I get before I have to go to the goal? This is a lot harder than it looks. You can control it. Even had Dole as a sponsor. All the bananas say Dole on them. Super Monkey Ball on a Star Wars Yoke. You never thought you'd hear those words together, did you? Alright, let's get in here. Get some more. 12 bananas left. Oh, I have to get them all in 31 more seconds. 7 bananas left. Oh, this is way harder than it looks. 5 more bananas. Alright, and 1, 2, 3 bananas left. 1, 2. 1 more banana left. Go back 16 seconds. 1 more banana. Perfect! We got it. Alright, that's Super Monkey Ball. Alright, hit the exit button. It's actually pretty fun. Monkey Ball is the shiznits. You control the level, not the ball. Yeah, it's like a modern Marble Madness. It's super fun. Yeah, I got Road Rage, got Road Rash, Crazy Taxi 2, Wave Runner, Top Skater, some fun stuff. Ride and Shoot. You know, you can play all your Road Blasters, your Stun Runner, Spy Hunter. Got Twisted Metals on here. Vapor TRX is a fun game to play on here. Ooh, but I really like playing gun games with the yoke. Check this out. Ready? Lethal Enforcers. No, let's not do that. Let's do it. Lethal Enforcers with a Star Wars Yoke. You had no problems with the black screen of death since the GPU driver update. Good to know, Derek. Thanks for the update on that. Appreciate that. Alright. Oh, I forgot to update the main coin games for things. I have to update the main coin in my main settings. So I can't do a main game, unfortunately, because I have to spend some time going back and doing that. Let's do... What's a fun game to show off? Virtua Cop, yeah? Look at this. This is a classic right here. Virtua Cop, Sega Model 2. This is a fun. Do I have Space Harrier on here? I don't have Space Harrier. Is that a shmup? I do have a couple of shmups on here, but not a ton of them, because I really like the Raiden playlist. And I could add more shmups on here, but I'll play some of the shmups I have on here, but I don't have Space Harrier on here. Push start. Okay. So we're going to play some Virtua Cop. And so I have this bottom trigger as the trigger and the top one to reload. And this is really good. So I just have the cursor on the screen. So the yoke is essentially emulating a mouse. And I just have the cursor on the screen set. So, and the cool thing about Virtua Cop is since it has that timer where it comes down, it actually gives you enough time to move the yoke to shoot. So it doesn't feel like unnatural to not be using an actual gun. So it feels, this like Virtua Cop series actually plays really well with the yoke. It's pretty fun. Time Crisis is okay, but Virtua Cop is cool because it has that little countdown timer of when they're about to hit you. So it gives you enough time to shoot everybody. Boom. Virtua Cop. Very cool. I'll do one more game and then I'll end it. Let's do shmups. So we got shmups on here. I have my Macross games, Zero Gunner, Giga Wing, Ikaruga, Macross Plus, a lot of the Raidens on here. Let's do... You want to see Raiden 5? Yeah? Raiden 5 is a PC Raiden game on here. Let's show you guys how Raiden 5 plays. This is a really fun game. But since it's a PC, it takes a little bit navigating the menu to get there. But this is a pretty cool shmup to play with the yoke. Moss, Raiden 5. Game uses an autosave feature. Please do not switch off your console while this is marked as displayed. Raiden Anniversary. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, alert's confirmed. So press any button. Press enter. Start. Okay, start button is enter. RD5. Now loading. Yeah, let me know if you have any other requests out there. Otherwise, I'm just going to try to get in here and just press the start button to get it going. Start. Press. Go. Start. I just want to get in there and play. Yeah, look. Oh, so it's like a vertical shmup, but then since it's a horizontal screen, it has all these little extra things that tell you what to do for some of that gameplay. Yeah. Got those nice 3D Raiden graphics. And here we go. Up, down, left, right. This is my trigger. That's my bomb. Boom. Holy, this is so much fun. Oh, wow. And again, some people may say like, oh, there's some delay in using the yoke, but I mean, if you think about it, the yoke is essentially a giant analog stick, so you have to move it full range for it to be able to move on screen. But, you know, because a yoke really isn't designed to be used for a shmup playlist, but I can play fighting games. Oh, I know it's really hard to see on screen. There it is. You can kind of see it. But, I mean, the whole point is that you can actually see the yoke. Maybe I'll move the camera closer. Can you guys see the gameplay better? Yeah? It's a little bit better. Now you can't see the yoke. Boom. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. The operative word is shmup. You shmup. Spank that likey button. Alright, so that's it. And then exiting the game, you gotta quit the game. Oh, you gotta go quit game, hit the start button, go to the main menu. So to exit a PC game like this, you actually have to go to the main menu. Alright, what's up, Brad? Could you play Afterburner on that? Yes, I do have Afterburner. Alright, maybe one more. I have a whole dedicated playlist for flying games. So I have Afterburner 2 and Afterburner Climax. What do you want to see? Afterburner 2 or Afterburner Climax? Let me know. Forever hold your peace. I'm going to do one or the other. I might have to do Afterburner Climax because Afterburner 2 is not set up right now. I've demoed Afterburner Climax. This is running the PS3 version, and I hope it works because sometimes it doesn't work the first time I play it. It's doing some shaders right now. UAG should be streaming tonight. Good pinball score, B. Thanks. Climax is dope. Yes, it is. It's a really fun game, right? Afterburner and Space Harrier, perfect. I gotta look up Space Harrier, Ritual Dello. I'm gonna look up that game, so thanks for the recommendation. I will be looking up Space Harrier and seeing how well that plays. Afterburner 2 or Afterburner Climax. I have to fix my main playlist and reset the coin buttons for everything, so I'll do that. I'll do that afterwards, but let's just double check if Afterburner Climax works. There's my start button. The Climax is so much fun. Here we go. Alright, what do we got? F-14 Tomcat, F-15 Strike Eagle, or the F-18 Hornet? What do you guys want to see? I feel like I always do Tomcat. Any preferences? We got 9 seconds. I'm gonna go Eagle, Strike Eagle, because I always do Hornet. I mean, I always do my Tomcat. I always do Tomcat, so we're gonna see how well the Eagle plays. Alright, got some really good music too. Turn this up. Boom! This is so much fun. So the bottom trigger is the machine gun, and the top trigger is the missile. And if you want to boost, then I have the trigger on the bottom left as your boost. And then if you want to go into, I think it's called Climax mode, you got to press the button, and then that slows down everything. You can shoot stuff too. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Hello.
Hello. That's
What are you doing?
Afterburner Climax. I'm demoing some gameplay playing Afterburner Climax on the Yoke. Isn't it awesome? Want to get in here and show them how it's done? Alright, we got somebody else who wants to show you how it's done. He's like so excited. He comes with his own sound effects too.
I'm crazy!
Oh, Space Harry is essentially Afterburner with a guy in a jetpack. I got you. Yeah, for sure. I'll check it out for sure. Yeah, the Afterburner games or any kind of flying sim game works really well with the Yoke. It's super awesome. I can't say enough about this mod. I just gush every time I play it. And I don't play it enough because I only play it when I'm building stuff for other people. But it's pretty fun. And you saw the setup. We're just doing some more gameplay. Some testing. He's better than me. He is. Because he comes with his own sound effects. That's why he's better than me. He looks like he's having more fun, right? Oh, he's going too crazy. You think I'd be more comfortable on his paper route than as my pilot? Yes. These kids and their cat-like reflexes. Oh, he just blew up though, so, you know? Go get him. Go get him. You down how many people? Alright guys, we're creeping up on an hour, 15 minutes. I appreciate everybody that joined today's stream to check it out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, hopefully this answered some questions for people that are interested in how to install this into their cab. I'm going to let him keep playing, but otherwise I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you guys later. Bye.